Hey YouTube, this is a different kind of video. This is one on a program called Project Ignis, aka yugioh Pro. It's where you have access to every Yu-Gi-Oh card available, and all of it is free. I'll put a download link to the program in the description if you're really interested, but I was working on this deck because there's some cards that just came out in the TCG. Now heroes are just cool on their own, you know, you got powerful cards like Stratos, Shadow Mist, you can go into Dark Law. First off, we got a trap card, which you can just fusion during your opponent's turn, your turn, use cards from your banished graveyard. It also puts your materials back into your deck so you can just use them again in the future. We have an extremely powerful card. This card's so powerful, it's pretty much like insta-fusion, except you can bring out level 7s and lower. And this card has actually really cool synergy in the deck, not only giving your field a body, but allowing you to bring out stuff like Sunriser to search a Miracle Fusion just straight out the gate. And of course, we run the regular hero package. The point of the deck is to bring out Neo's boss monster, Shining Neo's Wingman. He's kind of hard. You have to use a Wingman fusion, and we do run the OG version. And he can be destroyed by card effects. Also, when he's summoned, you can destroy cards on the field. Really cool stuff. We're running the typical meta hero package, which is the Faris package, a couple Shadow Mist, one Liquid, and then Stratos, along with adding a D-Hero engines so that we can negate our opponent. Dark Angel for opponents playing a spell heavy deck like a fusion deck or anything that requires a lot of spells. We can just summon this card onto our opponent's side of the field, and any spells that they activate are negated. Insanely powerful. And on the vice versa, we have Plasma in the main deck, which is extremely searchable, which can just negate all of our opponent's monsters. Really cool stuff. So this looks like just a traditional hero list, but the reason I would say it's not a traditional hero list is because we're running a Neos engine. And most hero lists, they don't bother with this big guy because he's a brick, aka you don't want to see him in your hand. He's bad. I think Elemental Hero Spirit of Neos is actually kind of cool, because if your opponent declares an attack, it pretty much protects you for that entire battle phase. Because if your opponent declares an attack, you can just special summon this guy and he searches you a card and he cannot be destroyed by battle. Like, that's kind of huge. It's kind of like ends the battle phase, kind of, if they don't have a way to get rid of it. Also, he just looks freaking cool, but that's not important. What's really important is the Xtra deck, because we're running a lot of one-up heroes, and if you like heroes, you're going to want to summon a lot of these guys just because they're nostalgic and they're really cool cards. Like, look at this guy, Absolute Zero. We got Sunraiser. As soon as he's summoned, add a Miracle Fusion from your deck to your hand. Multiple ways to summon this guy, including with instant contact, and just a variety of really cool hero monsters. We're running a Mast Change package, which includes Mass Hero Acid to destroy enemy back row. Dark Law, extremely powerful, like a Macrocosmos. Any card your opponent activates, banished. Also, if they add a card to their hand, banish a card in their hand. Hero Blast is only in here if you summon Stratos and your opponent tries to use Imperm or Effect Veiler. You can just chain your Mass Change, bring out Blast, and then your Stratos effect goes through and you can continue with your plays. And then we also run Mass Hero Kaga. This is here because we do have a lot of light targets in the deck, so this card can be really useful in closing out games. And also we can use our light fusions for it as well, so we can attack with our fusion, use Mass Change, bring out Kaga, attack for game. The new boss monster, Shining Neo's, kind of hard to bring out. You need to have a Flame Wingman in your graveyard, but once you have that set up, you can just bring this guy out during your, or preferably on your opponent's turn, pop all his cards. He's like really hard to get rid of, super cool card, and obviously the best card in the entire Xtra deck. This is the reason that this deck is actually good. Destiny Hero, Destroyer, Phoenix Enforcer. I don't want to go too much in depth about how good this card is, but essentially it's extremely easy to bring out in this deck. I'm going to jump to some replays and I'll talk about the deck. Okay, so as you can see from this opening hand, it's not the best. Now, the best thing I can do here is just summon Shadow Mist, go into Mass Change. Shadow Mist gets my engine going because it essentially can search any hero. And a cool thing about this deck is that no matter what your opening hand really is, it's really easy to get into what you need, because you run so many cards like Shadow Mist, Stratos, Emergency Teleport, Reinforcement of the Army, A Hero Lives. All of these cards get you what you need. They search out a card, which searches out a card. And as I was talking, I'm doing this combo. It's a Destiny Hero combo. You might have heard of it, but I'll go over it real quick. What I'm doing is I'm using Cross Guy just to bring out cards, search guys, and I'm able to fusion summon Destiny Phoenix Enforcer with a Polymerization. And the whole point of this combo and destroying my own Phoenix Enforcer is to give my opponent Dark Angel. And now Dark Angel is a crazy card. Yeah, my opponent can use Link Haribo on it, or you can even tribute over it with the Tribute 1. But essentially what it does is any spell my opponent activates, negated. Negated, destroyed, doesn't matter what it is, doesn't matter how many times he activates spells, negated. Now, as I learned later in the duel, my opponent didn't know what was negating his spells. Maybe he thought it was Dark Claw, maybe he thought it was a card in my graveyard. He wasn't sure, so he just surrendered because he didn't know what was going on. This is the second replay, and it was in this one where he asked, what does Dark Angel do? And I'm like, oh, it negates everything. You can only get rid of it by tributing or link. And he finally figured it out. But pretty much his opening hand is all spells. I don't know that info. Only we know it because we're viewing this. But pretty much I'm just going to go into the same exact combo. And I have Fusion Destiny. Now, if you know anything about Destiny Hero Phoenix Enforcer, you know that Fusion Destiny is extremely powerful. I'm not even going to use it. I don't need it. Polymerization, bring him out anyways. Like, let's go. I'm going to use him to pop himself so that I can get 3 names in the graveyard. I have Malicious, Phoenix Enforcer, and I forgot what the other dude is. But I'm able to give him Dark Angel, and I'm going to pass. Not the best for it, but I do have Fusion Contact, which means that I can Fusion during his turn. And I also have a Phoenix Enforcer, just in case he does any weird shenanigans. All of his spells are going to get negated. There's not really anything he can do. He's going to try to set stuff. And at this point, I'm like, okay, he has 1 back row. Let's pop it. Boom. And let's just go for the kill. Summon everything. This guy can just bring himself back. Denier. Denier can also put a Malicious that's banished on the top of my deck, so I can reuse Malicious because Malicious is at 2. Then I can normal summon Liquid Soldier, which can special summon a hero from my graveyard. Still gets its effect. Shadow Mist adds me Mast Change. Now Mast Change can be used on any one of my guys to bring out a Dark Law. And I use the Fusion guy. And this is the new Fusion guy, Shining Meals. Incredibly powerful. 46,000 attack, only gets bigger and bigger. Destroys card when he's summoned. Just attack for game. I didn't even need Mass Change. Didn't even need Fusion Destiny. I'd even attack with all my monsters. Now this deck's insanely powerful. I really hope you like this replay. That's it for the video, and maybe I'll catch you later. Peace.